Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the animalistic powers of the soul. That is, we are going to talk about the soul of animals, which possesses only vegetative and sensitive powers. It will be necessary to talk about the difference between man and animals, which we have only mentioned. Now, let's get into the video. The powers of the animalistic souls are the following: nutrition, growth, reproduction, the five senses, instinct, imagination, memory, and common sense. Let's go with order. Nutrition is the power of the soul to gain energy through other beings. For example, the sun through photosynthesis, plants for herbivores, and animals for carnivores. There isn't much else to say. The point of nutrition is to make the body endure, as the soul cannot live properly without the body. I mean, it can live without the body, just not in contact with the physical world. But we will have time to talk about this. Growth is the power of the soul to make the body mature. As we know, the soul is the form of the body, meaning it contains all of its attributes. Contrary to what you may think, though, the soul doesn't change. Why? Simple, the soul is immaterial, and as such it lives outside time and space. So it is not something that encompasses only a tiny bit of the body's existence and follows it through time, but rather it encompasses the body throughout the entirety of its history all at once. Reproduction is the power of the soul to create other bodies of the same species. Reproduction can happen asexually, or sexually, and both of those acts are made for the creation of a new being. The being cannot be of a different species, as reproduction works with DNA. Reproduction is not vital for the single body to maintain, but it is vital for the entirety of the population to endure. The five senses, and the other non-conventional senses, are external tools that help the soul get information about the surrounding environment. The senses can convert certain movements or particles in different sensations. The sensations are perceived inside of the body by the brain and communicated to the soul. They give an insight of how matter is moving outside of the body, and also inside. Instinct, also called the estimative power, uses the information gained by the five senses to try and estimate what is better for the self. The insight they give is perceived as pleasure, when instinct thinks the action is good, and pain, when it thinks that the action is bad. It is very important to note that instinct is estimative, and as such, is not really good at grasping the universal good, but it only thinks of the individual good. Therefore not everything pleasing is good, and not everything painful is bad. But we will talk about this in the part about ethics. I will get to you, Epicurus. I will. Imagination is the ability to think and create images according to the information that we perceive. By perceiving reality, we gain information about it, and are able to remodel this information in order to create abstract and non-existent, but helpful for different purposes, such as understanding a concept, or having an idea. Ideas being products of imagination which can help creating something useful. Memory stores the information gained by the external senses, which then can be analyzed by imagination, and used by instinct later. Memory of course is not perfect, as some memories will fade if unused, but it is vital nonetheless. Because without memory, imagination wouldn't be possible, and instinct would have nothing to rely on other than immediate impulses. Lastly, common sense. It is the ability to coordinate all of those senses and make them work together. Without common sense, imagination would imagine random thoughts, Instinct would be deceived by those thoughts by confusing them with reality. The 5 external senses would grasp sensations without control, and memory would have too much information to store. All of those powers come from the soul, and they are possessed by every animal, including humans. But of course, we humans are different from animals, because we have 2 additional powers, the rational powers. And we will talk about them next time. See you then. Be well.